Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we are typing out our user Redux files. As usual, to begin, we will start in the types file and we will convert it over to a TS file. We will switch this const over to an enum. And again, we get rid of the equal sign and we convert all these colons to equals. The thing that we've done before was that every time we were storing some kind of data structure inside of our state, particularly for current user, we would put the user type or the object type, the data type, inside of our user types file or the corresponding types file. In this particular case, our user data actually lives inside of our Firebase utils. If you remember, earlier we had defined this user data property. So here what we can do is we can either keep it related to Firebase or move it to user types. Personally, I'd rather keep it in the user data inside of Firebase because this data actually matches the data inside of Firebase that we get back. So to me, it's more correspondent that it's related to Firebase than it is related to some type that we have defined specifically for Redux. So here, what we're going to do then is we'll leverage it inside of the actual Firebase file. And now what we're going to do is we are going to begin the process of migrating our user action into our matcher pattern. So first off, let's bring in our with matcher. And what we need to do is essentially also bring in that user data. So user data like so. And now that we have our imports, what we can do is convert this action over to a .ts file. And then we can start defining the actual action types. So we have all of our action creators, but we need to create a bunch of different action types. Because essentially, when you think about each of these, which ones create new actions, which one create old actions? Well, looking at them, they seem to all create new actions. So that means that we have to define a new action type for each of them. So let's start. First, we want to make our check user session, which is going to be this one. So let's move this up here. And here, this is equal to action and action payload, which we also forgot to import. So we also need our action with payload. Now, check user section just takes action and then this user action types of check user session, like so. So here we can do that and make sure that this action returns the appropriate action type that we've just defined, and also wrap this with a with matcher. Now, similarly, we need to do this for every next one of these actions. So I want you to try this out. What I'm going to do is quickly speed through it so that you can see, because a lot of this is just doing the same thing we've done over and over again. And I don't really want to bore you too much with me typing all of these different methods. So I'll do a few. I want you to then pause the video, do a few, and then we can accelerate through this quickly and get to the final state. So let's continue. We did check user session. Let's do set current user so that we can do one with a payload, which is to action with payload. And this one will take this user action types with set current user. And of course, it's going to be of the type user data. Continuing on, we want to actually pass this like so and wrap this inside of a with matcher. Then we want to do our Google sign in start, which is equal to an action of the type user action types Google sign in start, which we will then, of course, similarly assign and also wrap in a with matcher. And there we go. We've done 3 actions. So now all the subsequent ones, very simple. Here, the only one that might be new is that additional details. We need to also bring in additional details, or whatever we called it in our particular case, additional information. We can set that not even here. We can just set that inside of the actual action type. So here you can see that we actually wrap this inside of an object, just like this one. So you know what? I'm going to do these three unique ones: email sign in start, sign up start, and sign up success, where our payload is unique. So here we don't even have to be too explicit about it. We can make one, let's call it email sign in start, which is equal to a action with payload. And here we can do user action types dot email sign in start. And we can literally just pass a brand new type here, where email goes to string, password goes to string. We don't even have to make a new type for it necessarily. We can, if we plan to reuse this actual email sign in start payload, but in our particular case, we don't need it more than just being here. So I'm just going to hard code it, as we saw, right inside of the type definition. We can do the exact same thing here for sign up start, which I'm going to do before everything else. Actually, for set current user, I did not set this to a user data type. So let's just quickly do that. But now for the sign up start, let's say export type sign up start is equal to an action with payload. And here it is a user action type sign up start. We take an email, which is a string. We take a password, which is a string. And we take a display name, which is a string. And now here, we'll just say string, 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 sign up start. Similarly, wrap this in a with matcher, like so. And here we see we actually have a type error. What's our type error? Email string, password string, display name string is not assignable to sign up start. Properties are incompatible. User action type sign up start is not assignable to user action type sign out start. So here, this is sign up start. We see that what we had was sign out start. So that is a typo. And again, you see how Typescript will tell you when you make this mistake. So really great. So now these remaining ones all should be quite simple. You've seen me do pretty much all of them. I want you to do it. I'm just going to speed through this section. I'm just going to accelerate the video so you can just reach the end and watch me doing all of these ones. Welcome back. So there we go. I have just coded out all of these different action types and attached them to the corresponding action creator, as well as wrapping them in the corresponding with matcher. So all very straightforward, just very tedious and very numerous. But now that we have them, try and use them inside of the reducer. Really think about what it is that our user reducer is going to need in order for us to actually switch it over to utilize these action creator match patterns. Because you see there's a couple fall throughs here. So try it out yourself. Join me in the next video where we'll do it together. I'll see you in the next video.